someone trying to help us?
He's
Dropping off shovels for us?
I don't know.
It's pretty sweet. I have a feeling I can do something nice with those.
Okay.
Garden art comes to mind.
Thanks for helping with the lemonade.
Right.
I've been trying to make lemonade for a month.
You gotta do it, because like this is a long process full of setbacks.
Guess what I learned today? Come and take a look. Guess what I learned today? Another thing to learn in life. Guess what I learned today?
I'm curious.
Guess what I learned today?
Another thing to learn in life. Well, here's something that when we decided to pile the wood chips up here and then distribute them onto our lot, turn them into mulch, till them into the soil, let them return to the earth and nourish our backyard. I was concerned about raking this pile out because when I was a kid, there was a lot of consolidation in a pile and it would get more and more difficult to rake. So we've been kind of coming out here and raking this out. I raked the far corner of the pile and it came to what I thought was fireplace ash, like maybe some of the chips that they had in the truck were from somebody's place that they'd picked up fireplace ash and just dumped it here. And then I got to thinking, I wonder if spontaneous combustion is a thing in wood chips. The answer is yes. So I got out the thermal imaging camera and I took a look at our wood pile. Come and take a look.
The center of this pile is pretty hot. I've taped the temperature probe to the end of the broom handle, and the outside air temperature is 83 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Now we're gonna sample some sections of the chip pile and see what temperatures we get. This is straight down from the area where I first saw the ash this morning. 142 degrees Fahrenheit. Center of the pile. 155 degrees.
Spontaneous combustion is when bacteria generate heat as they consume plant material like wood chips or sawdust or manure. If the bacteria have the right amount of water to thrive, they reproduce rapidly, and if they are also cosily insulated, like inside a nice blanket of wood chips, then the heat they produce is slower than it's being produced, and the temperature goes up. Sometimes the temperature goes way up and open flames can result.
So we have a new urgency to raking this pile out. I'm going to rake out the center of it in order to cool this, turn the center over, slow down the bacterial action and the rate of heat production, let the pile cool a bit before we have a chip pile fire here in our backyard and adjacent to our neighbor's house. That would not be being a good neighbor. working on the depressed portion of the first floor right now. Remember, there was this rotted tub and studs and a depressed column here that goes past this door jamb up to the second floor. We found that there's rot down here at the bottom from the tub. Not surprising, we knew that. A little bit of asbestos that we're ignoring and avoiding for the time being. So Josh is over here right now. He's helping out. We're going to replace this sill plate and these studs in the wall of the entryway. If you look over here, you can see where the plumbing had been cut into the old studs. We've replaced that plate and the support wall studs above it. So we've partially supported this wall. Now we're going to do the closer half. And down in the basement, we'll be doing some reinforcement. And in order to determine how much we need to raise this floor, well, actually, you don't know that we need to raise it yet, but I'm going to show you. So we have set up a laser level here. See, it's busy running here on its little tripod. And I have a detector for that laser beam that I'm going to set reference to where the base of the laser is right now. See, it's beeping away there, and as it gets out of alignment, the beeping rate increases. Comes back into alignment, it slows down. This is set so that it's level with where the laser is. Now we're going to take it over to where the depressed area is and see how much depression there is in the floor, because eventually we need to bring that floor up to level with the foundation walls, which is where we are right now. We're over the foundation wall. So here we go to the middle, and this is 1.54 inches depressed. 1.54 inches down here. Now we're going to go across to the other side because we've got a question about whether this is the only place where it's down or whether there's been some compression in the outer wall that's given us trouble upstairs. So I'm going to go over against the far outside wall, and we'll see where that is in relation to the wall that we're at right now. Okay, this is 1/4 of an inch down over there. So there's 1/4 of an inch difference in foundation heights. So that's pretty much the same. That's close enough for, I'm sorry, I was trying in front of the camera. That's close enough. That's a 1/4 inch difference between this foundation wall and that foundation wall. So problem is not down there, it's just in the middle. Knowing that, we can go upstairs and figure out where the issues are upstairs. You see that when we look across here at the ceiling above that window is depressed. So we know now that that depression is not because of anything to do with the foundation height and the floor joists down here. It has to do with the wall structure above that window. We'll take a look and see what has caused that and what we need to do to repair it. Okay, we have determined the downstairs foundation is in the right place. And we see a depression in the ceiling above the big window down there in what's going to be the kitchen. And you can see that reflected up here in the floor. Kind of see that. Piece of tape on the wall about 1 foot in. That's more or less the center of the depression as seen from downstairs. And from where I'm standing over here in the central hall of the second floor, using this as a reference height, that corner edge is 1.5 inches lower than here. So the whole floor falls away 1.5 inches over here, and then it rolls further down as you go along the wall. So I'm going to go into the adjacent bedroom to the left, set up the laser. We're going to map this floor a little bit and see what we can learn about the depression. It looks like maybe that the problem is right here, which would be one joist in from the corner. So we'll see what happens there. Our laser set up, set it to 0 here at the entrance to the master bedroom, then survey across the floor past our depressed area. Now we're here and take some marks on the floor, show what we have for elevation. 1.32 inches low right there. 0.34. story across the floor. One measurement at each floor joist. Major depression right there where you can see it, but we have some numbers to put to it now. See the significance. We're at minus 1.6. Right there. Now to find out why. Well, I want to catch you up with what we've been doing down here in the basement when you weren't looking. You might remember there used to be a single jack post that sat underneath this stub beam right here. It was all rotten, rusted away, and it's gone now and replaced with two smaller adjustable jack posts to hold this beam for now. This whole beam is going to go away. We're going to replace it with a 20-foot long, 7-inch square engineered beam that will go underneath all these floor joists just on this side of the fireplace base, chimney base. This beam is right underneath that wall upstairs that we had to replace because people had cut that bearing wall, the 2x4 studs, they'd cut into it so many places. It was scary. Anyway, that's been repaired. This is underneath it, and it will be replaced with something that's even better. This is it right down here. It's a square 7 inches. And as it is right now, it's 22 feet long. We also got underneath this central beam. This is on the south end of the house. This end of it against the chimney on this brick column. The bricks, a couple of them were broken, the mortar was deteriorated, and this end of the beam had dropped down so that it wasn't even in contact with all the floor joists up here. So we got a 5-inch square piece of timber and put it onto a 20-ton bottle jack, 40,000 pounds. Thought it'd be enough to lift the house. It was. Put that on there, put it underneath here, and jack this up. We're up about an inch to an inch and a half here from where it was before, and we put some temporary wood blocks underneath there. Eventually, that'll get brick and mortar.
All right, we did some work on the floor, and I want you to walk inside and see if you feel any difference when you walk into the old kitchen. Yay. It doesn't bounce when you walk in now, huh? Jacked up the center beam in the house, and the center beam's actually over here. Right here in relation to this whole floor. But anyway, we jacked this up, and possibly too much. I jacked it up probably a little bit too high because I figured it was going to settle and compress the blocks that we put into it over time. So I'd like to test and see if we went up too high. And what we'll do to figure that out is set up the laser level, and measure across the floor again. Like a Rugby 100.
Job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like
We can go across the room and see what the deviation is from here. Look, we got it right. No, I'm wrong. That's the wrong tone. This is still low. Yeah, it's 1.42 inches low. It has a little readout up here. Well, this is gonna still have to come up some more. What I'm gonna do is go over here where the beam is right now and see. Floor is a little bit low here still, right over the beam. We're going to go down in the basement and contemplate what needs to be done. We might not do anything. We're just going to have a lot of contemplation.
What the heck is this?
We're sorry. Okay, cover him back up again. They're not happy.